Greetings, dear hearts. How are you? It's Miss D here. Um, the last time I had a video, we were making a journal, and I was coming back to finish that up or work on it with you and do some gel printing. This video really will be about the gel printing, but the prints will be going into the journal. So I wanted to let you see how far I've gotten with the journal. If you remember, it was the big journal that I'm going to use to hold materials and do some of my painting. Sorry about the glare there, but this is the one. I think I'm really going to change the cover. I have this image on the cover. I have a different thought in mind, but what I've done in your absence is I've started making the closure. So I'm going to do a braided tie closure out of this hemp rope. I've started in the inside. I've added the pages in a pocket or two. This is a biggie, so it's hard to show, but there's the pocket. And I've added brown paper bag pages. So I just cut up a paper bag and turn them into pages. I've added some gesso to the pages for being able to stencil, draw, paint on these pages. And I left some the brown, as I'm gonna see what that paints like. Nice big pages for great drawing. I have started, this is one of my first starts on doing some art in the book, a cowrie shell with a little African print. I'm still working on this one. I added a little ribbon around. And when I get the book done, we'll do a flip through. But just started, getting the pages down, adding a little color to some of the pages. And for purposes of utility, I've started adding pockets, or I created the pockets and working on adding them. So I'm going to add a big pocket to put some ephemera and pieces that I'm working on. And I'm going to keep the pockets made out of paper bag. Probably I'll decorate them a little bit, but paper bag pockets will go in. And some more pockets that I've started designing. I haven't glued them down yet. I want to show you them. Before I did that, I did start decorating some and started thinking about placement where I want the pockets to be. A clear pocket. And I like that clear so that I can see what's in the pockets. And that's what's going on with the journal. Just getting the insides done. Gonna leave nice string in the center. And what I did was I used newer bags from the grocery store for this back half. This is where I really think I'll be doing a lot of my painting. These pages are nice and smooth, so I'll just gesso them and paint on those. And just got some things tucked in here, a pocket in the making, image that I want to use, and a pattern. And what I think I'll do, because I didn't show you, and I did start working on one image. This is by no means completed, but just started working on an image. Forgive the camera angle. But started working on doing a little gluing. I did create a pocket, a big pocket in this album. So here's my big pocket. And I think I'll put some of this extra material on in there. So I'm planning this to be a very functional journal, one that I do a lot of saving crafts and painting, and just my journal Bible really is what it'll be. So I'm going to continue to work on that. Some of the gel printing that we do today will be for this album. Again, I think I'm going to change the image on the front. That'll be a surprise to you. I probably will work on that after I get done with the video today. Today, though, I'm going to play with the gel printing process. So I have a few things laid out already. Of course, I have my gel plate. I have a small gel plate. I'm really thinking of trying to get a big one. As you know, it's from that album. I like big pages for when I'm drawing and painting. So a bigger gel plate would give me bigger images. But one of the things I'm excited about in this project today that we're doing, the gel print we're doing today, is that I've been playing around with some gel print stencils, homemade stencils. This is an African image that I like a lot, so I'm going to test this out and see how it works. And then I've just taken some cardboard left from ribbons, and I love the circle shapes and glued them down, and then some without. I want to see how that works on the gel print. And then I just taken some smaller images that I want to see, a square. And so this is homemade. I took a top off of a tea can and glued a cup on so I have a handle. And then this is just a rectangle shape that I put a little pattern on with hot glue. I want to see if I can pick up an image with that. And another square, a larger square. I love to play with multi shapes and designs, and my circle prints, both a lot of different sizes of circles. This is just like a top of a sour cream container, and I glued a bottle top on, and gonna use that for a design for an image. And I want to be careful that these sometimes these edges can be a little hard, so I don't want to press too hard with those. And another circle, and then I'm really playing. I want to see. I glued a paper clip binder onto this toy car that I had left over from last year's stocking stuffers, and I want to roll it across and see what kind of images we get. I'm really in the playful mode with the gel print today. In this one, get a smaller circle, and that one does feel a little rough. See if I can smooth that out just a little bit. Where's that sandpaper? Excuse me while I take a quick look around. Thought I had it right here. So I'll definitely be careful with this one. I'm going to try to knock some of that off. Isn't quite sandpaper, but hopefully it'll take it off. I don't know where my sandpaper went. Yeah, I think if I be careful, I could be all right. Yeah. Well, I put a little clear polish around it. I want to be careful with my gel plate. I don't want to smear it. So take a little clear polish just around the edge. Take a little of the roughness off. So making homemade stencils for your gel plate is a good way to save money and be creative, get different designs. So I have those going. I went to the dollar store a couple of weeks ago, and I went in the kids' Play-Doh section, and I found these stencils that I'm going to give them a whirl. That's a butterfly, a little face, and a little hand is imprinted on that. I know the camera won't pick that up real well, but there's a hand in there. And a fish for us Pisces. And an apple and a couple other little things that I'm going to play with. This roll pin that they had. And flowers and whatnot. Couple stars. So I'm going to play with all of those. And I just thought about, I don't have my brayer out. And so, gotta remember exact, there it is. Use my brayer. And I have a little bit of mesh I got from the dollar store back in the summertime. This has got the red, white, and blue for 4th of July. And I'm going to put that over and see what that looks like. So lots of different textures and things I'm going to play with for printing. And then my paper. So I got a variety of paper going. I definitely want to play on some parchment paper and see what kind of images I can get on that. I like parchment paper in my journals. That sound, can you hear that sound? I love to turn a page and get a good sound like that. And then I'm going to print over some gel prints I had did in the past and get more color on those. And the back of some papers that have come in the mail. I'm going to do the front and the back of those kind of images. Some coffee dyed paper I want to get some print on. A paper bag I want to get. Just little images. This is a postcard that I made, and I think I want to get a little color from the gel print onto it and see what we can bring up with that. Just enhance that a little bit. The back of a collage that I have done, I want to get a little color on the back. This is actually a page I'm going to put in a journal. I've already created the pocket, but I want to do a little color in the inside before I did anything with the inside of that. So play with that. This session will be a whole lot of play for Misty. I haven't worked with paper bags, putting the gel print images straight onto this. So I want to kind of roll off on this and see how it picks up. Lots of experimenting with this session. And then just some more pages that I want to get some color on the backs of. So this is what look like on the front, and the back is just pure white. So I want to get some color on that. And again, some papers that I got from this mail and whatnot. And I'm just going to get color. I do have a couple pieces of canvas type paper. I want to see about picking up some images on. And this is straight out of my art painting journal. and get some color on those pages. So got plenty paper to work with, plenty images to play with. Oh, I didn't show this one. I am making a homemade stencil, kind of do some meditation. I want to see if that manila envelope that I cut that out of will hold up through a gel print session. So that's what we'll be working with. I have a few more papers here beside me that I will work with. I'm going to get the gel print warmed up. So I want to use just some kind of scrap paper. So I'm going to open up this magazine and print off some of these pages. Will be the first things as I get the gel plate warmed up. Then I'll move on to my papers. Kind of cute image right there. These kids. Alrighty. I'm just gonna get started, get this plate warmed up, and just play with these images for a while, see what picks up what. Excited to do this. Gel printing has become one of my favorite things to do. I want to see which side of this plate I really want to use. I like to use the side that I printed on the most because you get to pick up color from my last session. Alright, so let's start. I have some homemade spray paint that I have, that I take the ends of the paint colors and I just put a little water to them when the bottle's empty. Get the plate kind of wet, moving around with that. Some of the paints are still those paints I got from when my daughter went dumpster diving, and so I'm still finishing up those. And so I added that little water just to give it somewhere to start. Here's a different color of that even. I think I'll do that for a second. I like the way that just rolled off on that parchment paper. And one more of the O ones. Let's see what goes good with that color. How about this? It's a little thicker. Just roll that up together. It's real runny and soupy. I just want to get the plate started. Okay, to that, I think I'll add a little of this orange. Just want to use all that paint that she had given me. Get it all used up. So I'm making this a little bit of a wet plate. This isn't the normal way you would gel print. You would use your paints. I'm experimenting today, so I'm playing every step of the process today. Like that. Even though it's wet. This was one of the things I really want to see, how this brown paper bag would roll off. what the colors would look like. Doesn't look too bad. I think I'm going to try to pick that up as wet as it is. Just right on one of these brown paper bag strips. And because I'm going to be doing multiple layers on all of them, this will be okay, no matter what we get. So I've laid that loose paint down, very watery paint down, and just rubbing the jelly print. And then I'll begin the process. Okay, just getting some color on it. Seeing how this paper picks up. Oh, I kind of like that. Leave that there for more layers. This paint is just about gone. And that's the purpose of this beginning part of this session, to get rid of all paints that are left in tubes. I think I'll just cut that open. Here we go. Get rid of tubes that are empty. It was one of my favorite colors, this orange. Yellowy orange it is. I find that I really love gel printing. It's one of my most relaxing favorite things to do. To have my own papers in my journals that I'm making is really beautiful. That's pretty. Really interested to see how the paper bag is going to hold up. I'm just going to throw one of these images down on here. The little Play-Doh stencils are working nicely. And let's lift that off with something light. Nice. And I'm going to continue with that color until I get this bottle empty. One of the thoughts I have for the cover of that journal I was just showing you was to do my African print on it, and that is an orange background with some red. So let's put those two on the gel print. See what we get. That's a little soupier. These are those paints again that my daughter, ooh, pretty, had given me. The paper bag seems to be picking up the colors pretty good, so that's good to see. And I'm measuring, because most of my pages get folded in half. And so I want to make the images fit. And what I don't like about the little ones is no handle to pick them up, so they're sliding. So I'll just go with it. And know now that I'm going to make a handle for these little babies. Just go with whatever happens. I like to have something I can grab with. That's why the ones that I made those handles. So let's use one of those. Let's have fishing circles. Stick fish in the circle. See if we can pick up these images. I'm just warming the plate up, so it takes a minute to get some perfect prints. Okay. Let's try a piece of this. That's a parchment paper. I love to be experimenting in the craft corner with the different mediums I'm learning, just to see what we get. Ooh, it's beautiful colored. The images aren't that clear, but that color is beautiful. I'm just going to go around the edges and pick up more color. Because I measured these pages that I ripped the parchment out to fit the journals. So I'm just going to pick up color all the way around. Like this one a lot. So if you have sheets that are bigger than your jelly print, you could do exactly that. Oh, I like that a lot. When that dries, that should be very nice. Let that dry. Let's just roll that again. Now we're getting the plate warmed up. I actually really like those two colors together. Sometimes as it just sits on the gel print, I could tell I'm going to love it. On the gel plate, I meant. You can see that you're going to love it. Really get that circle in there. Go for the fish in the shell. I kind of like these colors, so I'm not going with the magazine quite yet, because liking the colors. So it's going for lighter paper that will really pick them up. This is some junk mail. I'm going to do a few more, and then I'm going to pause and continue on and show you the finished products as we move on to working in the journal. Oh, I get so excited with these. So pretty. Really pretty. Let's see if I can get a second generation pick off of that one. Let's get the extra paint off. Okay. I'm going to pause you for a moment, do something. When I come back to working with the stencil, I'm still doing some printing. I'm going to experiment with put the paint straight onto the paper bag and see what we get when we do that. Trying to get the paper bag to receive images a little color, a little brighter. I know I could gesso it, but I'm want to play with a couple spins of roll it straight from the paint onto the paper bag, and then I'll do some more gesso pieces. I have played with some of the gesso pieces. Just want to see what we can do straight from the paint. Just gonna roll this straight on the paper. See what we get. Colors don't blend the same, don't look like to me. A little bit brighter, but not as much blending. Not bad though. just an experiment to see what I get. I kind of like the texture I'm seeing, but it doesn't blend as smooth as if I was on the gel plate. But the texture is okay. And I'm using more paint, so this wouldn't be the preferred method, but a method. I'm going to carry it all the way out to the edges. Try to keep texture, layers. It's pretty, but it does take a whole lot more paint this way. Big paper bag. And finally gonna be done with this paint, which was one of the main goals today, was to end the jars of paint. That should do it. And I'm just gonna spread a little water down there, because we can make a orange spray. With what's left. Gotta empty this one too. Oops, oops, oops. I'm going to get back to the gel plate in just a second here. Just creating in the craft corner. Playing, experimenting today with paints and gel printing. I think everybody should have a play date in their craft room, craft corners, just experimenting. You can come up with your own designs, prints, and expressions of who you are. This will take a couple layers to get it. Woohoo! Accident. Let's see how much of that we can save. Set it up. Okay, we'll work more color on that in a moment. Try to salvage the neck. There was spilled paint over here in this corner. I was trying to salvage. This page will take a couple layers of color before we'll get it where I would want it. But there's a base coat. Okay, I'll let that dry a little. Then I'll come back and give it another coat. Put these on the bottom to absorb paint. And let's play with jelly print one more time. Okay. Paper's drying. Lots of spaces. And I want to brighten up the color a little bit for a minute. The lighter color on the gel plate should clean it some so we can start changing colors more. Yeah. Let's lighten that up with some blues. I was experimenting, as today is the day of experimenting, with some dried paint that I just was trying to salvage some of. And I think I want to put some white with that and see how it looks. That might be a little bit much right there. Let's spread that. See, if I had a bigger plate, I think I would get less movement. I think I'm a little hard with the pressing. Let's lighten up and see. Ooh, that's pretty. I think I'm going to try to make some circles out of that. Let's just experiment and see if this plate template will work. Try not to move it. It's my homemade stencil. See what we get. Okay. And let's stamp off over here. Create a layer. Nice. And then let's try to pick up. Nice. again. Let's just brayer it this time. I'm going to press lighter. See what we get. That's nice. Marbleized look. Very nice. Like that. I'm going to lift that right on. That marbled look. And do the back of this. Add an extra layer. A lot of times with the jelly print, you want to add multiple layers, and your print will start looking better and better. Some more layers to be added. So we're going to do that once again. I like that blue. You know, blue is my signature color. And that's tickling me. That light touch. Beautiful. Ooh, love that. Let's play with this homemade print and see how we do with that. And use this for that homemade stencil. Let's see if we get anything with it. Little soupy, little soupy. Let's stamp off right here then. Let's see if we get anything. Oh yeah, oh yeah, okay. Let's lift that. Okay. A little bit, a little bit. Didn't really like that. We're going to try that one again. I'll just go ahead and lift all that ink up. Figure out what's going on with the design. Let's try that again. I'm going to go with a white. Just clean up the plate a little bit. That rubbing too hard. Rolling too hard. That's me. Let's see if it works better with less paint. Okay, looks like a better image. It picked it up some, but not yet. I'm going to play around with that some more, and I'll hopefully figure out how to get that image. Maybe I have to do something to the stencil. Try it one more time. Really want that image. Maybe put some directly on the stencil. Try that. And play around for a minute. Put a lot of different images down. we get. Still no. It picks up a little bit on different surfaces. That didn't work. Not impressed, not impressed. Giving it a good rub. Sometimes the experiments don't work out. And so far that print, that gel stencil I tried to create hasn't been working out for me. Although on this one it tried to pick up some of the image, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. I just wanted to try one other thing, and then I'm going to pause and play and come back and show you the finished papers. That might be too much. One of the stencils. So I was using the ones from the dollar store the wrong way. Okay. So they want the sharp ends down. Now I got them sticky, so they're sticking to my finger. But I'll know that for the next time. Clean those up. And I just want to see if I mark the paper. What that would be like. This is the coffee dyed paper that came from a drugstore prescription. And I'm just lifting paint and images on it. Junk journaling at its finest. Oh, that's pretty. Very nice. Like those colors. And I'm going to try to get the edges. Okay, I like that. Let's do that one more time. That green, that was pretty. yellow maybe. I like the texture rolls. After I roll multiple times, it gets real smooth. I think I like it best when it has texture. This is also a homemade stencil. Actually, like the drugstore paper, it feels good and it took that tea dye pretty good. And then the last print we were making, it seemed it took the paint pretty good. Okay, got a little bit of the paint image. This is the one from the last time. I'm just going to roll over that and try to pick up ghost print on the back. Picked up some of the color. Keep playing with that. Okay. I'm going to pause you here. I'm going to continue on. And then I'll come back and show you the finished papers. Dear hearts, that was a long session. I made plenty paper, had loads of fun. I just want to show you a couple of the papers that we was able to create and check on some of the experiments I was making. One of the first experiments I was making was how would the paper bags print from the gel plate. The colors did come up pretty nicely on darker colors. Looks pretty good on this paper bag. I did notice it took more paint to get the brightness up and more rolls. The paper looks a little drier, but I'm just gonna put some Mod Podge on that. I'll get some shine. It didn't glide on as smooth, so you have some patches where it doesn't have paint with the paper bags. But all in all, I did like it. What I did find though is when you put gesso on the paper bag and paint, you get some cool images, you get better gliding, and use less paint. So I did like it using gesso on the paper bags. Then the thinner paper bags, they picked up the paint and the images pretty good. I was okay with that. Forgive my hands, but I've been jelly printing all day. And these are just examples of other paper bag ones. Here's one of my favorite. I kind of like impressionistic looking stuff, abstract. So I started, the more I worked it, the more I was able to get the paint to go. Here it even took up a stencil. I was able to use a stencil on it. So that was fun. And started getting the lighter colors to go. And learned to kind of like the way that the paint went on the bags. I noticed the shiny bag held more paint than the paper bag. That's something to look out for. Okay, so paper bags, yes, you could do it. Putting gesso on it probably is the best way to go about using the paper bags. That's one experiment complete. Then some of my best ones that I liked the most were on the parchment paper. I love the way the parchment paper holds paint, and of course the sound. This too, I will put some decoupage on to shine it up. Love this image. Really nice. I did several of those. Did a lot of the red orange for a piece for the journal. I think I'm going to be using a lot of that color. This I liked a lot. Hope you can see that. The camera may not be picking that one up as well. Love it though. And I did a couple prints on the doily. And a little bit on music sheets from Tim Holtz. Pretty. And then I just got into the swing of things, mixing colors, playing with the homemade stamps. This was a ghost print from one of the homemade stamps. That image is from a ghost print of one of the stamps that I made. But this might be one of my favorite print. Camera doesn't seem to be doing it justice. The color of it and how that ghost print really came up. Love that one. I like the layers on this one a lot. The layers of color. I need to pull this one out. When I put a little ink on the edges of this will be a pretty page. I like that a lot. Put that one to the side. Might be my favorite piece of the whole session. Although I have a few that I really liked. I hope you're getting a good shot of these colors. I'll show just a couple more. I'll try to pull some of my favorites. Greens. Some of them, I can see images rising through them. That's some of my favorite kind of painting, is when I can do work and images start popping up for me just naturally. I love these, the blues. Almost look like a painting already, right? blue is one of my favorite colors. You might say my signature color. Anytime I'm working with blue, I usually get pretty happy. Ghost print of that. This looks like a storm waiting to happen. Like this a lot. Then on the music sheet from Tim Holtz, I like that purple. I don't know if the camera's picking that up for you. Alright. Oh, and of course, some more blue just on regular junk mail. Might be a masterpiece on junk mail. I like this one a lot too. Some fire reds. And then another favorite. I was really trying to get that Zen moment, try to get that meditation image. So you'll see plenty of those in this session's work. One of my least favorite, kind of too dark. Sorry. Okay. And the last one I'll share is one that I really liked a lot. It just came off the Geli print, looking beautiful. That one just a little paint touch up and a little image or two in the front is good to go. And that was this session's Geli printing. I feel like I got a lot of good background papers. Some I may have to, do a little more work on. All in all, a good gel print session. I love these. And they'll work their way into some of my little journals. All right, dear hearts. I hope you enjoyed this gel print session, making backgrounds for the large journal. Oh, here's the big sheet that I started with in the beginning of the session that I was testing the colors on. It dried pretty nicely. I'm going to go over it and brush a little gold on it, and I think I like that. And then the last piece, just a little light dusting. I love that image a lot. So I feel like that was a good session. I'm going to end here and see you all real soon. See there? There's the beginning of some work right there. So until next time, dear hearts, please stay safe and remember, we got this. Bye now.